which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moved by Commissioner Eichelkraut that the minutes of a regular meeting of the Council of the City of Ottawa, Illinois, held on Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, be approved as recorded in the permanent files of the City Clerk.
Okay, a second.
Second.
Commissioner Gainier, roll call.
Eichelkraut?
Aye.
Gainier?
Aye.
Barron?
Aye.
Mayor?
Aye. Brent, would you like to appear before?
Oh, wait, you're all right.
You know there's a time limit on it, right?
5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Eichelkraut's report.
Moved by Commissioner Eichelkraut that the biweekly salary payroll of March 28th, 2025, in the amount of $645,832.93 be approved and warrants issued.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Barron, roll call.
Eichelkraut?
Aye.
Gainier?
Aye.
Barron?
Aye.
Mayor?
Aye.
Moved by Commissioner Eichelkraut that the bi-monthly expense report dated April 1st, 2025, showing expenses in the amount of $521,453.92 be approved and warrants issued.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Gainier, roll call.
Eichelkraut?
Aye.
Gainier?
Aye.
Barron?
Aye.
Mayor?
Aye.
Moved by Commissioner Eichelkraut that a resolution authorizing the execution of an amendment to the Transportation Provider Service Agreement between the City of Ottawa and MTM Incorporated for NCAT be received and placed on file for public inspection.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Barron.
Yeah, this is here is an agreement with MTM that is a Medicare person or a Medicare company that we deal with for rides.
Thank you. Roll call.
Eichelkraut?
Aye.
Gainier?
Aye.
Barron?
Aye.
Mayor?
Aye. Commissioner Eichelkraut, is there anything you'd like to share with the folks at home?
April 19th, Allen Park, Easter egg hunt from 9 to 11. Don't forget, bring the kids down. I think we got 40,000 eggs that we're actually putting candy and stuff in. And also there's bigger prizes too. So there are some golden eggs. So come on down. It'll be a lot of fun.
What's in the golden egg?
You gotta come to find out, Rob.
I know what's in them already.
Oh,
so yeah.
man.
That's your trip someplace. You don't know.
Mayor.
A trip somewhere. Okay, I'll be down.
Yeah.
All right. On Commissioner Gainier's
Oh my God.
report.
Moved by Commissioner Gainier that an ordinance authorizing the sale of personal property and authorizing the execution of a listing and marketing commission agreement with Brindley Mountain Fire Apparatus LLC for the 1996 Pierce Arrow Tower truck, which has been on file for public inspection since March 18th, 2025, be adopted.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Eichelkraut? Roll call.
Eichelkraut?
Aye.
Gainier?
Aye.
Barron?
Aye.
Mayor?
Aye.
Moved by Commissioner Gainier that a resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement between the City of Ottawa and Business Employment Skills Team Incorporated for the EMS class reimbursement be received and placed on file for public inspection.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Barron?
This is a program that will reimburse for not only the cost of the paramedic class, but most of the time for the new hires to go to the paramedic class. Brian just happened to, actually, I think Best contacted him and said they had some of these programs available, and why don't you take advantage of it? And we're going to try.
Sounds good. Roll call.
Eichelkraut?
Aye.
Gainier?
Aye.
Barron?
Aye.
Mayor?
Aye.
We have the report of the police chief for the month of March. Squad car calls, 1,661. Arrests, 387. Sent to state institutions, 1. Sent to the county jail, 4. Sent to juvenile probation, 0. Central Dispatch handled 758 911 calls. They also handled 3,901 administrative calls. Moved by Commissioner Gainier that the report of Police Chief Michael J. Cheatham for the month of March 2025 be received and placed on file.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Eichelkraut? Roll call.
Eichelkraut?
Aye.
Gainier?
Aye.
Barron?
Aye.
Mayor?
Aye.
We had the report of the fire chief for the month of March. Number of bell alarms, 4. Number of still alarms, 23. Activated alarms, 37. Number of medic calls, 329. Mutual aid, 5. Number of patients, 258. Total calls for March was at 393. Total vehicle responses, 640. Total emergency overtime, 17. Structure loss was at $50,200. Contents loss, $50,100. Vehicle loss, $10,000 for a total loss of $110,300. Total on residents billed for medical services was 26. Moved by Commissioner Gainier that the report of Fire Chief Brian R. Bresner for the month of March 2025 be received and placed on file.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Barron, roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye. Is there anything you would like to add, Commissioner?
Yes, I just received a text that we have a bid on the tower truck of $2 million.
Yeah.
April Fools. Nothing else.
That would be
What's it going to On to Commissioner Barron's report.
Moved by Commissioner Barron that a resolution authorizing the execution of the Second Amendment to the agreement for sewer service between the City of Ottawa and the Village of Nape Plate, which has been on file for public inspection since March 18th, 2025, be adopted.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Gainier, roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye. Commissioner Barron, is there anything that you would like to share?
No, we'll move it along.
All right, very good. On to my report.
We have the report of the registrar for the month of March. There were 45 birth certificates issued and 38 death certificates. Certified copies were issued with the fees totaling $3,329. Moved by Mayor Hasty that the report of registrar Shelley L. Rolson for the month of March 2025 be received and placed on file.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Barron, roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Moved by Mayor Hasty that the report of the Parking Administration Department showing fines collected of $2,995 for the month of March 2025 be received and placed on file.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Gainier, roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
We have the report of the building official for the month of March. There were 13 building permits issued with fees totaling $4,629. Total number of on-site building inspections, 49. There were 3 sign permits for $80, 3 feather banner permits for $100, 2 pool permits for $75, 11 fence permits for $550, 1 new business registration for $100, 2 waste hauler registrations for $2,150, 26 general contractor licenses issued for $2,600, 37 electrical licenses renewed for $5,550, 14 electrical permits for $1,800, total number of on-site electrical inspections, 31. We had 16 people take our electrical exam for $2,635. And our plumbing inspector did a total of 20 inspections. Our code enforcement officer did a total of 102 inspections, and our construction coordinator did 38 inspections, for a total of permits and licenses of 128, with fees collected of $20,269. Moved by Mayor Hasty that the report of building official Matthew W. Stafford for the month of March 2025 be received and placed on file.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Eichelkraut, roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Moved by Mayor Hasty that an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a redevelopment agreement between the City of Ottawa and GIOA Group LLC for property located at 209 West Main Street, which has been on file for public inspection since March 18th, 2025, be passed and approved.
Can I get a second? Commissioner Barron. The one thing that I wanted to add about this is I've had some people ask about Ottawa Office Supply and whether or not they were closing. And Tim has actually signed a 2 or 3 year lease, so he'll be there at least that long. But the new owners, as most folks can see by the boards in the windows, he's been doing some remodeling work and plans to turn that, I believe, into 2 luxury short-term rental units. So, but Ottawa Office Supply will be there for the next 2 to 3 years. Roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Moved by Mayor Hasty that an ordinance adding Article 9 to Chapter 14 of the Municipal Code of the City of Ottawa, LaSalle County, Illinois, regarding video gaming licensing and fees be passed and approved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Gainier. This is just the beginning of updating some of our gaming and liquor ordinances. It kind of came to our attention that we were one of the last municipalities to not have this part in our gaming, so we figured we should add it. Roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Abstain.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Moved by Mayor Hasty that an ordinance amending Chapter 10 of the Municipal Code of the City of Ottawa, LaSalle County, Illinois, regarding ordinance amendments to the liquor code be passed and approved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Barron. Again, this is one of the many different things we'll be doing in the next couple months to streamlining and somewhat improving our liquor ordinance to have it be a little bit more consistent, a little more streamlined, make a little bit more sense. What mainly is in this one is removing some of the more archaic designations that we had, like hotels being an example. And hopefully at this point, now that we've kind of wrestled this beast somewhat, we can start to make improvements on it. Roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Abstain.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Moved by Mayor Hasty that a resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement between the City of Ottawa and Tesco Associates Incorporated for the LaSalle Street Underpass Bridge Aesthetics, which has been on file for public inspection since March 18th, 2025, be adopted.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Gainier, roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Moved by Mayor Hasty that a resolution authorizing the execution of a memorandum of agreement between the City of Ottawa and Reach Strategies for a transportation electrification plan, which has been on file for public inspection since March 18th, 2025, be adopted.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Eichelkraut, roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Moved by Mayor Hasty that a resolution authorizing the execution of a proposal from Merit Court Group LLC for the Heritage Harbor Floodplain Survey and Value Analysis be received and placed on file for public inspection.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Gainier. This is in agreement with Merit Corp., who is doing the engineering to determine just how much dredging of the harbor was done at the time of Heritage Harbor going in. With getting this certification, we are optimistic that there will be the cubic feet necessary not only to help them with their floodplain mitigation, but also to help us with our riverfront development so that we can follow our own ordinances when it comes to floodplain management.
One quick question. Yep. Where did when they drain that, where do they put the dirt? On their own property?
They had put the dirt on their own property when they had done
Right,
it,
so
correct? Yes.
basically you're looking at a situation where there is no reason to do this, because if you're taking it out and you're putting it on your own property, you're not taking it off your property, so they've already used up that 2-to-1 ratio.
They had already done it, and they have the.
You better have an engineer check that, because if you're taking it out and you're putting it on your own property, okay, our floodplain laws say that basically you can do that, but you're not taking volume out and taking it away. You're actually just moving that volume to a different spot on your property.
But if you moved it out of the floodplain, then it counts.
Right.
Because that's what they do.
Floodplain, because
Yeah.
they built up their land.
Yeah, it was moved back out, and
Yeah.
some of it was actually, I believe it's some of the same that was used for Green Street, right?
That's correct, yes.
Yes. So it had
They
already,
put that in the floodplain there, though.
That's correct.
I'm just saying, I mean, I understand the floodplain rules, okay?
Not to get into it, but Tom is correct. If you take it out of the flood, if you excavate material that's in the floodplain and remove it out of the floodplain,
Right, but you put it in the floodplain.
then you're getting a net credit.
that was separate.
That was separate. That material came out of what they call Conservation Cove, and it was just excavated a couple of years ago. So this is separate from the original development.
Yeah, they had already done the work. We're just having it documented so that we can use, because the work had been done so that those numbers are just sitting there, but they have to be documented in order for us to be able to use it. So by having this engineering work done, it's going to give us that number, and we know how much we can then basically spend for credits, would be a good way of referring to it as. It's projected to be far more credits than Heritage Harbor would ever need for what they're doing, but more importantly for us is it will allow the thousands that we are going to need for the amphitheater so that it doesn't flood.
One quick question.
Yes.
Are they going to give us those credits?
Yes. We have a letter to Heritage Harbor, which they have responded to, indicating that they think it's a great partnership.
And our floodplain person agreed to this?
Yes, he did. Because of us changing that it doesn't have to be on the same property, when we change the ordinance, that you could take it from one and fill it somewhere else. That allows for us to make corrections like this. But that was the first question that we asked was of Matt, make sure that he was okay with it. Roll call.
Eichelkraut,
Nay.
Gainier,
Aye.
Barron,
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Moved by Mayor Hasty that a resolution authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Ottawa and the Illinois Office of the Comptroller for the Local Debt Recovery Program be received and placed on file for public inspection.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Gainier. This is an agreement which hopefully is going to help us kind of recoup some of those fines or tickets that kind of go missing out and never get paid or followed up on. This organization will take it upon themselves to help recoup some of that for us. Roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Moved by Mayor Hasty that a resolution authorizing the execution of license agreement number 5399 between the City of Ottawa and the Illinois Department of Natural Resources for the I&M Canal Storm Sewer Drain be received and placed on file for public inspection.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Barron. And this is basically a renewal of an easement that's already in place. I think we ended up going 10 years.
Yep.
Yep, 10 years on this. And it's the location that is just immediately east of that Illinois Power transit station. It's north of the I&M Canal. Roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye.
Anything else, sir?
I have nothing else. We can all go home and watch the news to see how our neighbors do.
Moved by Mayor Hasty that this regular meeting be adjourned.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Eichelkraut, roll call.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Barron.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.